Hip hop was good, man. We here, we on deck with another episode, if you ask me, where we talk that music and movie culture from the late 80s to the mid 20s. I'm your host, Deme D, man, representing Queens all day. I got my guy here, you already
Dutch
know.
in the building.
Ukonne, my dude. And we got a new face here, man. We got a new face, man. Shout out to my guy, man. Let him know where you from. Let him know your endeavors, all of that.
I'm from Brooklyn. Know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Soul Food Journey Show. It's your boy Abzo. No abs though. At IMTV, at IM Entertainment. Shout out to my co-hosts Hollywood Ant and Don Solo.
So what up? Yo. All right, so right now we're gonna take it a little twist, man. Of course we're gonna keep it hip hop. We're gonna keep it the culture, but we're not gonna be talking no music today. We're gonna talk about opinions that a lot of people have had, a lot of talks over the years, and the responsibility of a rapper, a successful rapper. Should a rapper have to come back to the hood? Should they have to come back to the hood once they're successful? Should they have to spend their money building the hood or the communities that they came from, or impoverished communities? Is that their responsibility? So we're gonna start off. We have a new guy to the table, man. Is that their responsibility to come back to the hood?
No. I'm gonna tell you why. It's not their responsibility. It's because us as a black community, so-called black community, we put onus on these rappers, these entertainers.
I'm about to say celebrities. I don't think it's just rappers, right?
Celebrities overall,
yeah.
Right? And overall, we put them on a pedestal, and we put them as a moral high ground where these are mandatory things. And at the end of the day, we forget that just being an entertainer is just a job. We don't hold this onus on doctors, on lawyers, on your sanitation workers, on your bankers, or your lawmakers, even though your lawmakers actually have direct correlation to changing your hood.
Which is
we
crazy.
Do not hold, we do not hold these, but we hold these other, and these people who are in the limelight to these standards. But I think it's unfair.
Based off what?
And I think that's unfair.
Based off what? How is he qualified to even speak on? Everyone's entitled to an opinion, but how is this person even qualified to be at the forefront just because they make good music or they make good movies?
Money. It's the money.
But you made a great point. Why are doctors who probably are more educated than a lot of these people with these successful jobs, why aren't they held to these standards?
And that's a problem. Right? I think that's a problem that we keep holding these entertainers as moral figures, role models, when we shouldn't.
Even if it's not negative, like the ideology could be different. If you're a person who is into education and this successful person is not pushing that, why you're not going to want your seed to follow him?
That's correct.
What if you're into entrepreneurship and this person is only pushing going to school, right? That's the floor is yours. But should they have to come back to the hood, man?
I absolutely agree with you, but I have not justification, but I have a reasoning behind why people believe so, right? So
that they should come back to.
That they should, right? Because in this system, rappers are generally the only group of successful people that exploit on the surface, that exploit their affiliation to the hood, them coming from the hood, them being recognized and real and being able to be movers and shakers in the hood. So that's what you're telling me. That's justifying your street credibility. That's getting you to the point where you're successful enough now to schmooze and be around billionaires, millionaires, etc. If you're telling me that this is what you've been doing in the hood to get you to this point, then there's going to be a part of me that's going to be like, yo, I helped get you there.
Can I ask you one question?
Right.
So why won't we hold the corner boys to the same?
I agree.
If that is.
Because the corner boys don't have celebrity though.
Everybody else
is pretty much based on the celebrity.
So everybody else that's made it out, right? They've always been trying to make it out. Like it's always been, nah, I don't go to the party. I'm not going to the skating rink. I'm not doing this. I'm gonna be in the gym. I'm gonna be in the library. Whatever it takes for me to get out. Now I'm out. I don't look back, right? Your rapper is the only person. I don't even think R&B artists do that, but I don't really listen to R&B, but they don't refer to what they used to do in the hood to help catapult them out. So it's kind of like, oh, okay.
Is it a help or am I speaking my truths?
Well, you're speaking your truth, absolutely. Maybe not, right?
Certain circumstances.
Right, maybe not. But you're still using this to get yourself out of the situation. Everybody else, I think, doesn't necessarily do that.
But that's all they have, though.
Right.
This is all they have.
Yeah, you're right, absolutely, and that's why I totally agree with the two of you that they're not obligated.
But it's
I
just
I
where
can
the expectation
see,
comes from.
where it would come from, you know, if there is one.
I agree with you, in a sense, because you're talking that, oh, I'm living the hood life, blah, blah, blah.
I can walk through there.
I get it, I get it.
All this love, you
But
know?
that's because, but in reality, that's what we do want, though.
Yes.
We do want that. When I moved when I was living in Queens and I moved to Jersey, I still wanted to go back.
Right.
And I still wanted to be there.
Right.
Now, if I would have had some type of grand success, realistically, I know what time it is. I'm not gonna be looked at as the same guy anymore.
Right.
So it's like, they do probably want to go back, but realistically, you can.
And we have
Even the
tons of
guys who
examples of
say,
guys that tried.
and we're gonna get into that.
Right.
That's the whole point of
And
this
they tried
segment.
to go back.
That's the whole point of the segment. Not even they try that they've done and they've contributed and still got shitted on. Right? Because I'm like, in the end, Bronx Tale, right?
Right.
Familiar with the movie Bronx Tale? Bronx Tale, what happened? Sonny died in a room full of motherfuckers that loved him, right?
Supposedly.
No, but for the most part, the thought was everyone in the room loved him, right? Except that one person.
That one person did have a beef though.
That one, I'm just saying, that's all it take.
He did have a legit.
Okay, but I'm just saying, let's remove the beef, and let's just say this guy's just envious.
Yes.
So now you in your hood, and everyone love you, and you in there, but everyone's not gonna always love you.
You're absolutely right. I mean, like, not even to that extent. I mean, look what happened to Hammer. Like, Hammer legitimately tried to take
Jesus
the hood
Christ.
with him, yo.
He
lost
literally
all
did.
this money, but then motherfucker just walked away. Like,
But they didn't kill him,
they did. You're right.
and they do show him love. So his is more of an example of maybe extending your hand too far.
Right.
I think his is fiscal irresponsibility because he
Oh,
could have still
absolutely.
did that. He could have still did what he did.
Nah, he can't do that.
Yes, he could have.
Not to that extent.
He
To
took
that
the,
extent.
Nah, he took the whole
To that
hood
extent, he
with
could
him.
have still did that. But what he didn't do was the tax write-off aspect of it, turn a lot of those things into legit businesses, so he can, reap off those revenues. So you have,
It's too many people to
it's
account
not,
for.
because you could turn some of those. You turn some of those into security guards.
And for argument's
They were
sake,
working, though.
And for argument's sake, he would have did that, and they would have came back like, yo, he's jerking me, yo. I shouldn't be getting that.
Happens all the time.
Happens
No,
all-
because-
but you might be right.
It's Fab.
Because right now, I'm
Fab
just-
is a testament to someone who's done that.
Nah,
Yes.
Fab employs certain people. This guy we're talking about everybody.
Yeah.
Fab
Those
got
dudes on stage
Nah,
that didn't contribute to the show at all, just to be
the
on stage.
dancers, half his dancers was from his hood. Like, he brought the hood.
Like,
Fab brought his
everybody.
hood niggas. That's different.
It's,
Nah, 4 or 5 dudes is different
he
from
brought more than
fucking 50.
4 or 5.
Street, listen,
All right,
street
but you're talking
fan.
about over the
But
span
this
of
is
his
just-
career.
Yeah, over this.
Right,
Hammer
Hammer
did that
from the
first year.
dick.
Yeah. See, that
From the dick and say,
There's a
yo, we
diff-
in here, y'all.
There's a difference. That's why it was a difference, because Fab did it way more fiscally responsible.
that's-
Because of
because
the role.
it's less
Look at
people
the
to take
role.
care of.
Not even the role. Fab took the role less travel. Look at the trajectory of Fab. Fab took the long mixtape route. It took him a long time to grind and bubble. So his mans had no choice but to stick it out with it. When Hammer came out, he exploded.
That's the point we're making. Hammer's doing shows that Fab would
Right.
dream of doing. So it's
Right.
just different money, different expectations.
At the wrong
But see,
time.
At the wrong
At
time as well.
of their
To
career.
that, to
At the
that
wrong
point,
time.
though,
Yeah, at the wrong time.
I don't know I don't know if Hammer went back, right? I just know Hammer took everybody with him.
What?
So the dudes that we're talking about that unfortunately passed, they tried going back, or they were
Or
back.
they stay in
Or
there.
they stayed
Hammer stayed in there.
He stayed.
But the thing is, like, from my understanding from the people when he spoke it on, like, Hammer was the real fucking deal.
Right.
And he had a brother that was real in the deal. So it's like, they wasn't the niggas to play with. Not that those guys would
Right.
play with, but I guess when you add that, then you add the fact that he's trying to give you jobs. And he was kind of I guess being positive don't mean shit, man. Niggas don't care about all that, man. For real, nah, they don't care. You could be the best person, they still take you out, man. But before we close,
And that's unfortunate.
it is,
That's
man. You
unfortunate.
hear the tone, how my tone drop, because it's real shit.
Yeah.
But so before we close it out, are they obligated to build up the communities?
No.
Go don't have to spend no money in there.
I think it needs to be a collective effort, and there needs to be leadership. So like if leadership was reaching out and trying to get something accomplished, and you're talking that right, you're talking that talk, then yeah, all right, you should, not you should, you could
on that David Banner shit, Killer Mike shit, like okay, T.I. type shit.
But still, even the question, what are we building in these hoods? Like what?
Well, that would be what he's saying with the leadership, and you would congregate.
Even so, let's break it down to even what are, say if we did expect them to do. Say let's go to that. Because we already established that we were on the side that. Let's say that we were on the side that they're expecting them to build up the hood. What would we be expecting them to build up?
Schools.
Do we need more schools?
Fix up. We need the schools to be fixed.
We need schools. We need
better books.
Hospitals. As far as because this is the thing we have, and this may be going into a whole other conversation.
Yeah, let's not dive too deep.
But you need to be self-sufficient. You need hospitals that are run by banks. Your people. You need people to lend money, so you need banks. You need your people educating your people.
The food supply, you need the stores.
So those 4 things right there.
And we need rappers for this.
No, we don't need.
No, we're saying
we're on the side. Remember, we're on the side that. That we're
expecting rappers to.
Right.
We don't need them, but I guess other people expectations feel like you got it. You know how it go when you hanging out with your boys and you making a little more money than them. Niggas like, yo, you got it.
Right.
The bottle on you.
You know what I mean?
But I'm just saying that's the mentality of the people around. You got it.
Not to mention though, your oppressor is using your rapper to promote. So the rapper is the individual in the community that can gather people, and your oppressor recognizes that. So that's what, if we're gonna go with the expectation, that's where the expectation lies, because you are able to gather people around. The way that politicians, pastors, teachers aren't. For whatever reason, you as an entity, as an individual, as a person, can bring people together, unlike anybody else in our community. So if we're gonna have this expectation, you may not be the person to make it happen, but you should absolutely be the face of it. The same way Jay-Z was the face.
That's not fair.
But the same way Jay-Z was the face of bringing the Nets to Brooklyn. Like, he didn't make that happen, but being the face,
like 1% of the
right?
shit.
But being the face of it, like that galvanized the entire community.
Niggas still think he owned the team. Still,
when they were thinking that he owned the Nets, people stopped the whole question of gentrifying Brooklyn. People stopped picketing against the Rattler coming in and doing all that stuff.
Right, because they was opposed to it at first.
But because they thought that Jay-Z's bringing this to the community. So rappers can do that. So if we're gonna expect, that's the reason why. Because we want them to gather the people around, and then we can have our pastors and.
Because they're more like us when it boils down to it. They're more relatable. Them other dudes in suits, man. That's all right. Now that you said that, that kind of put it in a little more perspective. But we're going to close it out there, man. We'll be right back. We're going to continue the same way, man. Shout out to Abzo, Dutch Anthems, Deme D in the building, man. Hit that red button, subscribe, man, if you ask me.